Hi, my name is Ashish, and in this video we will see what is conditional access app control in Microsoft Defender for cloud apps. Well, cloud discovery helps us understand what's happening in the cloud environment, and then conditional access app control will let us monitor and control user app accesses and sessions in real time. By integrating it with Azure AD conditional access, it's easy to configure apps to work with conditional access app control. It will help us to selectively enforce access and session controls on the organization's app based on any condition in conditional access. We can use conditions that define that what users or group of users and which cloud apps and from which location and networks a conditional access policy is applied. So when I apply a conditional access policy, I'll see who is accessing what and from where. And after we determine the conditions, we can route users to Defender for cloud apps, where we protect data with conditional access app control by applying access and session control. So two things will work together here. So Azure AD includes built-in policies that we can configure for an easy deployment. After we configure the conditions of a conditional access policy in Azure AD, we can select session and undirect access controls and use conditional access app control. We can access and session policies in the Defender Cloud Apps portal to further refine filters. We can prevent data exfiltration. We can protect on download. We can prevent upload of unlabeled files. We can monitor user sessions for compliance. We can block access. We can block custom activities. For example, you can create a session policy in Microsoft Teams that blocks IM messages containing sensitive content. Let me just quickly log on to the portal and take it from there. I'm logged on to the portal, and if you want to deploy conditional access app control for catalog apps, so we have to configure our identity provider to work with Defender for cloud apps. If we have Azure AD, we can leverage inline controls such as monitor only and block downloads. And if you want to onboard apps onto access and session controls, you click on settings. We then choose cloud apps. And if you have any connected apps, then go to connected apps. Select conditional access app control apps. We'll have to sign into each app using a scope to the policy. You don't have any. Add a SAML application into your identity provider. So you will search for an app that is configured, and then you will configure the identity provider. And from here on, you can deploy the conditional access app control policy. And then there will be some prerequisites as well. You should have the license. It should be Azure AD Premium 1 or higher. You should have Microsoft Defender for cloud apps. Your apps must be configured with single sign-on. An app must use one of the following authentication protocols. So if you have identity provider as Azure AD, make sure you apps can use SAML 2 or OpenID Connect, and if you have any other identity provider, then they should minimum use SAML 2. So you have to configure the integration with the Azure AD. So let me just log on to the Azure AD. Let me guide you. So you will go to Azure AD. And if you have a P2 license, P1 or above, then under security, you will see conditional access. Click on here. It is the documentation. I don't have it a license. You can have a trial license, and from there on, you can have a new policy. You can create a conditional access policy, and under assignments, you will have to assign the users or the group of users that will be onboarding. And you have to select cloud apps or action, and you have to assign the apps and actions you want to control with conditional access app control. We will use conditional access app control. We will use a built-in, or you can create a custom policy in Defender for Cloud Apps and then select that policy. You can optionally add conditions, and then you can set the enable policy to on and then hit create. And when you will configure that on the Azure AD side, then you will come back to the 365 Defender portal. You will come under connected apps, and then you will click on conditional access app control. You will look at the available controls that are configured and verify that both access control or Azure AD conditional access and session controls appear for your apps. Okay. Once you are ready to enable for use in your organization production environment, you will let's say you add an app. Let's say you want to do this. You will fill in data manually, and you will have the URL, and you will make sure that you have the prerequisites and the conditions met whenever you are trying to configure the conditional access app control. And when you implement that change, make sure that you are sign out of any existing sessions. Then try to sign in each app that was successfully deployed. So I hope this video was informative for all of you guys. If you have any further queries, please mention them in the comment section, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you. Have a good day.